Uh, oh, here we go. All right, sweet. Let me see if it's working. All right. Okay, great. All right, boys. Welcome back to episode 2 of CXE. I'm Ethan. This is my friend Carter, my co-host. And today we got a lot more to talk about. The Wolves being the most disappointing team in the world, making us Minnesotans just disappointed, and a lot of other fun stuff. And some not so fun stuff that's more serious, but we'll get to that later. And Carter, why don't you start us off?
All right. So tough two games to start off with for the Wolves. Very disappointing. We had the lead a bunch of times and then they blew it.
Yeah.
It's second game having Rudy guard Luca was the dumbest decision that I think we possibly could have done. I
Yeah.
get he's defensive player of the year, but like also at the same time, he's not as quick.
No. Luca is one guy you just can't leave him in the paint. He's such a good player. Or I'm sorry, not paint. You just can't leave him on a one-on-one. You well
Down on D.
t- oh, nope, there you go. He's talking. All right. Where was I? Luca, you can't leave him open one-on-one. He will cook you no matter what. You have two of the best finishers on the Mavs. You got Kyrie, who's the best layup finisher in the NBA, arguably all time, and then you have Luca, who is one of just like I said, the best closers. I think he should have won MVP to begin with, and I never thought Gobert should have won D Player of the Year. I thought it belonged to Davis. AD played so much better, in my opinion. Like Rudy's a good player. Don't get me wrong. He's got what is it, 4D Player of the Years, but AD was putting up like 20 rebounds every night and getting like 4 or 5 blocks. And honestly, I would put Wemby over Gobert for D Player of the Year, and he's a rookie. But don't get me wrong, Rudy's still a great defender, and he's helped with Cat. But I think Davis should have won it, and Luca should have won MVP. But Luca is a tough player to beat. You can't let him get those situations, and that was just bad coaching. But another thing is Ant. He's got to
Yep.
get together. Ant, like I don't know what's happening with him. He sold the game. He had a really bad turnover. But then again, Kyrie's foul on
Yep.
McDaniels should have been called. Can't do anything about that. But it was just horrible stuff. The Wolves' defense in the paint has been abysmal, and it's embarrassing to watch. Like Gobert just stands there, and I don't know what they're doing. Gafford and what's his face? Washington? No, it's another one. Who's the other one I'm thinking of?
Likely.
Likely, thank you. Yeah, he's a freaking beast. They should not be dominating the Wolves like that in the paint. This shouldn't be
No.
happening. And so many
No.
careless turnovers have been bad. It's just been awful. And hopefully they can turn it around
Yeah.
tonight, but I'm not sure. But I really hope they can because like we swept with Denver and they took our home, but I don't know. I think the Wolves are just gassed and I don't know what Ant's doing, but he's got to get it together.
Yeah. We also have the worst home record in the playoffs too. We're like 2-5.
Yeah, yep,
So that doesn't help much either. Wolves
yep.
tonight, 7 on TNT. Dallas has the best spread at minus 2.5. Wolves are plus 105 for all you
Okay.
betters out there. In other news, Paul Skeens, again, we're going to talk about him. We love the
Yep.
guy.
Love him. Love him to death.
I believe 6 innings, had only a couple strikeouts, a bunch of hits. Only let up one run, though, which is pretty good. Left the game when they were up 5-1. They ended up losing that game, but it was not on him. Not one of his best performances with strikeouts, but still the hitters weren't really able to hit
Yeah.
the ball off of him.
Yeah.
Other MLB news: Twins yesterday came back and won off of I believe, a Jeffers home run to take the lead. Other news right now, if you want to know scores, Twins play at 110, so that will be in about like 8 minutes. Blue Jays and Tigers are playing right now. Tigers are up 9-6 in the bottom of the seventh. Reds and Dodgers game was delayed in the top of the fourth, or the top of the sixth actually, and the Reds are leading 4-0. The Pirates and the Braves are playing right now, 0-0 on the top of the second. Brewers, Red Sox, same thing. They're both tied 0-0. Mariners are up 1-0 in the bottom of the second. Royals and Rays are tied 0-0. Mets and Giants have the lead at 1-0, and the Orioles are both tied with the rain delay right now. That's the good news for MLB. Now, I say we go into college baseball.
All right.
A lot of big things happened in the college baseball yesterday.
Yeah.
First game yesterday in the semis, LSU against South Carolina. LSU down 8-0, came back, won 12-11, almost lost because of the umps. They almost blew the game over a stupid rule that you can't review. Thankfully, Monster Milam, Stephen Milam, freshman second baseman for LSU, hit a 2-run bomb to walk it off in the bottom of the 10th. Tennessee won last night against Vanderbilt. They will be playing LSU in the championship game today at 2. Tennessee is the 1 seed. LSU is the 11 seed, so that will be pretty fun to see. Big Ten is Penn State, Nebraska. So that will be a good matchup. ACC is going on right now. Duke is beating Florida State 9-4 on the top of the 6. What other ones? That's pretty much it for like the top kind of conferences. And then there's some news that a Division III team, their school is shutting down, but they won and now they're in the tournament, the NCAA tournament, and they're playing for their school, which is closing on the 31st. And their first game is on the 31st. So they're basically playing for a school that doesn't exist anymore, which is pretty funny. Don't know exactly why they're getting all shut down. Probably money is my guess. Not a lot of people go there.
Yeah.
But that will be pretty fun to see if they go all the way in Division III.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that should be it for college baseball.
All right, let's one more thing I forgot to add for basketball is LeBron's agent, the slip up. He said,
"Oh yeah,
LeBron is a free agent." And technically that's not true right now because LeBron still has a player option so he can play one more year at the Lakers, but I'm a Laker fan first and foremost. I still love my Wolves back there. Absolutely love this team, but I'm a Laker fan first. Unfortunately, yeah, I know I'm gonna get made fun of in the comments if anyone's watching this, but I love LeBron, probably a little too much, but I think it's time for him to leave, and I think he's going to Philly because he's gonna team up with Embiid and Maxey, Embiid, and then they're gonna have that big three. It's gonna fail because it's LeBron. I hate to say it, but I just think that LeBron is. I love him to death. Like I said, I think he's the greatest basketball player of all time, but his time is up. The new guys are taking over. The Nuggets have Murray and Jokic. That's all they need. Mavs are a great team, and the Thunder are young. The West is just too loaded, and the only way LeBron is going to make a deep run is if he goes to the East because there's no competition in the East. And I don't know what he's going to do, if he's still going to be playing as good as he is, but I'm very excited to see where he goes or if he's going to stay if the Lakers pick up Bronny, because wherever Bronny goes, LeBron wants to play with him. But I don't know if he's going to – Bronny doesn't want to play with LeBron. He wants to be his own guy, which I completely respect. I think the media should just let Bronny be his own person because the amount of hate he gets is insane because the guy came off a cardiac arrest and he's still playing basketball at an NBA caliber level, NBA rookie level. And that's very good. Even G League. Nobody could do that. And that's still good. Bronny's he's just a kid at the end of the day. He's 2 months older than me. And that's insane. But I'm just really curious what LeBron is going to do. If he's going to stay with Bryce. Because I don't know. What's Bryce, a sophomore? Like 2-3 more years. I think he's going to play. Yeah. I think he's going to play 1 or 2 more years for Philly. And he's going to be done. But I'm very intrigued about it. And I also think it's a good idea for the Lakers because, like I said, LeBron's old. And they have a great team with Davis, D'Lo when he plays good, Reva Hachimura. They're really good players. They just need to get that together. And like they fired Darvin Ham, and he sucked. And hopefully the Lakers can pick up Redick, who I'm rooting for because they want him to be the next Pat Riley. That's how they see him. And Redick was one of the greatest three-point shooters ever. So I'm very interested about it. But if Redick stays, LeBron would probably stay because Redick is endorsed by LeBron since they're on a podcast together. But I'm really excited about that, and I'm curious what it's going to be. But other than that, draft, it's just Not many people going on in the draft. Alex Sarr's probably going to go first to Atlanta, but this draft's pretty underwhelming. But I am intrigued to see who the Spurs pick up because
Mhm.
I think if they pick up Dillingham or the guy from Duke, what's his? I can't remember his name. It'll come to me. Jared McCain. I
Is it
think.
the TikToker?
I think it's Jared McCain. Yeah. If they get Dillingham or McCain, they're gonna have a Point and a Wemby duo. Point guard Wemby, which is a very good duo. With you see with Murray and Jokic, and you see Maxi and Embiid. Like that could be really good for them. And I'm very excited to see where the Spurs go because Wemby is a freaking beast. And speaking of Wemby, this 12-year-old dude, what's his face? Mohamed Dabone. 6'10", 21 points, 10 minutes, playing against 17-year-olds, the best 17-year-olds in Europe. This guy, you heard it from me. He's 12 right now, born in 2011, which is insane. The dude's gonna be good. I hope he's gonna be good, and I wish him the best of luck for him. And I'm very intrigued to see where he goes because European ballers are different, man. You got Wemby, Jokic, Giannis. These guys are freaks, and the Europeans are taking over. And I'm very intrigued to see
They're
where the
just
NBA
getting
goes.
really good.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's about all I have for
Going to be a
basketball.
lot more international. Yeah. Other basketball, basically WNBA. Minnesota Lynx won yesterday, which is pretty exciting. I don't watch them, but still Minnesota team winning.
The only team that wins for us.
And then what was it? A reunion happened yesterday. Aces against Fever. Kate Martin and Caitlin Clark.
Ooh, yeah.
Kate Martin was unbelievable in that game. When I saw highlights on Instagram, I saw highlights just dropping threes left and right and covering Caitlin Clark, and just good for them. Good for them.
Yeah.
Other news: NHL tonight. New York, Florida series is tied 1-1 in Florida. That will be happening actually at 2 as well. Probably won't be watching that. We'll be busy watching the LSU game.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Golf.
Ooh.
Nothing special at golf.
Except for one thing. Something did happen, but it's not good.
No. Davis Riley is in the lead at 14 under. Hayden Buckley, Scotty Scheffler, Robbie Shelton are in the top 5. I did see Ricky Fowler was 5 under.
Nice, good for him.
He is.
Yeah, he's.
I think he's dropped though.
Riley, Buckley, Chef. Yeah, I wonder if Chef will come back. I'm excited to see where, because he's just.
Ricky is 3
43.
under right now.
Nice. Tied for 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
On a more serious note, a golfer who was ranked number 53-58, Grayson Murray, killed himself, committed suicide after he withdrew from the tournament. And it's a horrible thing. And suicide isn't talked about enough. And I know it's more lighthearted podcast, but if you ever, like anyone, doesn't matter who you are, there's always someone who will help you. Whether it's me, Carter, anyone, doesn't matter who. Because suicide is no joke, man. And anyone can suffer. He was number 58 in the PGA Tour, and not many people can do that. And he was just playing golf. Like, he won in Hawaii a few months ago. And you never know what people are dealing with. He struggled with alcohol addiction, and it's really sad. But, you just got to pray for his family. I wish them the best of luck because I heard he's a great person, and he really was strong for dealing with all this. And it's just a terrible situation. And just know there's always help out there. And prayers out to the Murray family because, it's a terrible situation. And that's all I have to say about that. Just prayers to the family and the PGA community that was all involved with him. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything yet that was suicide or anything else. So
I've heard it was. Like, I saw it on ESPN, I think.
We're not 100% sure.
Yeah, but that's what I think it is.
Not 100% sure. We might, once we get more news, we might talk about it. But it's a pretty tough subject to talk about.
Absolutely.
So it's not
Absolutely.
It's very touchy to some people, so we might not bring it up again. But we do want to get the word out that it's serious, and it's just no one should be doing that because there's always people there for anyone struggling with anything, addiction, whatever.
100%.
to get out of that touchy subject today, I got off work like I don't know, like an hour ago. Today, checking out this older today, doing my thing. And then once I finished, she's like, "You have a great personality," and like just saying all this nice shit to me. I was like,
Yeah.
just made my day today.
Yeah.
Best thing to happen today. And it was boring day, nothing fun happening. It was raining, but no one's coming when it's raining, and
Yeah.
she just made the day a whole lot better. She just
Yeah.
talked about how it had a great personality and how our generation doesn't really have that anymore.
Yeah.
It was just really nice of her to do that.
Absolutely. I could go on and on about how bad our generation is, but this is a sports podcast, not a
Yes.
politics thing.
Yes, it is.
That would take way too long, and we're not going to get into that. But it's just the little
No.
things. Be nice to people, because even complimenting them with one small thing, like saying, "Hey, I like your haircut," that could really help them out in ways that you would never think. And stuff like that is
Mhm.
what more people need, because the world is too hostile, and we just need to all do that. Like, Carter's a great dude, and we both have like our
Mhm.
issues, but he's my boy, and we're at this podcast together. Like, I didn't think I'd be here, but I'm happy I am, and he's a great dude.
I didn't either.
I'm not happy about it. And yeah, just be
Yeah.
great, be nice to everyone.
All right, let's get into a new subject, UFL.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Brahmas beat undefeated
Ooh.
Renegades yesterday. Brahmas are 15-1. If any of you know the YouTuber Destroying, he did play for the Brahmas to start, but then he wasn't the best tackler and he broke his neck, so he's not playing right now. But for all you Gopher fans, former kicker Ryan Santoso is now kicking for the Brahmas.
Nice.
Still wish Destroying was playing, Donald De La Haye, but he unfortunately had an injury. Yesterday, Battlehawks beat the Defenders. Nothing special about that. I only care about the Brahmas. And then today, let's see. The Defenders and Showboats and Panthers and Roughnecks are playing today at 1:30. Both of them are playing at 1:30.
All right. It's kind of
What else should we talk about? I think we've
All right.
covered all the sports today.
All right. Let's see what else I have. Grayson, Ellie, Max Crosby. Ooh, crap! I forgot a big one. We got two. Max Crosby, 3-year extension with the Raiders. Outstanding player, good person. I'm excited to see what the Raiders can do, but fortunately, they suck. But I still have a soft spot for the Raiders. That was my football team when I was in second grade, and one of my boys from Canada, his favorite team's the Raiders. Shout out to Skyler. I don't know if he's watching this, but shout out. He's my boy. Great guy, but hopefully the Raiders can come back, because, the Raiders are just such a poverty franchise, and they're cursed worse than the Vikes are, because Ruggs, Jamarcus Russell, and all that sucks. But I wish the Raiders luck, and they got Minshew, and I love Minshew. But on to the next one. This one's a little bit. This one's an interesting one. NIL deals are on another thing. Colleges are now directly paying athletes. I, for one, think this is stupid. I go to UMD. I'm a University of Minnesota. I am a college kid, and athletes don't deserve any special treatment. Sure, they do great things for sports. Sports are a huge part of the American industry, and I think that's fine. But they're already getting a free ride scholarship, usually, to play at these schools. And people pay thousands and work their asses off to get to these places. Like, Marshawn Lynch I love the guy, but I don't know. There's one NFL player. I think it was Michael Orr. He couldn't even read, but he worked really hard, and then he went to Ole Miss. Like, that's cool. That's really cool. Like, that's awesome. But
but the family wasn't great. They basically took all the money.
Yeah, for sure. That's a whole other thing.
Still, like his story though is just incredible. Just the work ethic he had. But also, teams are already paying like thousands and millions to players to come to their schools. Yeah. They're like buying cars and all that shit. So they already do technically pay players to come play, but this is it's basically a cap, just like in professional sports, so they're
Yeah.
only
So,
allowing a certain amount for them to pay certain athletes because not everyone gets a chance to get a good player. And
yeah, that's fair.
school like the top schools like Alabama, Texas A&M, all those guys, they're paying like millions. And like let's say who's a Division 1 smaller school, like the Gophers,
You had like North
who else?
Dakota or something small like that.
Yeah, North Dakota, or South Dakota, like all those kind of schools, they don't have that kind of money to pay these kids, and these kids are only going because of the money and all the
Yeah.
stuff that they're going to get out of it. So I feel like this is kind of good. So it gives other schools a chance to actually try and get a player, but also just paying them when they have NIL too is just it's they're starting to make millions already. It's
Yeah, for sure.
basically they're basically getting paid like the NFL with the NIL, but it's gonna be I'm gonna be curious to see how this goes in recruitment for next season.
Yeah. In Colorado, like I think that's a bad example of it because like you got Shiloh Sanders who already declared for bankruptcy and he's what 20? And then you got guys like Travis Hunter who's making a shit ton of
Yeah.
money, but he's using it. I actually don't mind how Travis Hunter's using it. Like buying a car, whatever, I can live with that.
No.
Like, but he's buying
Actually,
a
his girlfriend
house.
bought him a car.
Oh yeah, he bought one for his girlfriend. Then his girlfriend
He
bought one
bought
for
one
him.
for his girlfriend, and then his
Yeah,
girlfriend bought one for him,
and then he
which was
bought
actually
off.
pretty cool to see.
He bought off his parents' house too, which I think that's awesome. Like that is a. I
Yeah,
have
amazing.
no arguments against that. But meanwhile, you got guys like Shador who are buying all these Lamborghinis and stuff and parking illegally. Like I think that's wrong, and that's just being prideful, and I don't like
Yeah.
that. Like Travis Hunter, like he's got
Mhm.
flashy stuff, but he's still using most of his money for good things, and I think that's awesome. Like I would take notes from Hunter, and as opposed to like Shador, where you're just trying to be an absolute show off. Like use it for
Yeah.
good things because you are blessed with this opportunity, and you should be using it for good and not yourself.
Yeah, every athlete getting NIL deals should do something special, especially
Yeah,
if you grew up with a struggling family. Like do what
Yeah.
Travis Hunter did. He
yeah,
basically bought his parents' house, or buy him a new one if you're like if you have the money.
yeah,
It's good to like help your family because family always comes first before yourself.
yeah.
I think that's what. And then, well, okay, yeah, NFL news again. I heard CD Lamb is going to wait to see what Justin Jefferson signs so he can be
Ooh,
higher paid than Jefferson.
interesting. Yeah, Vikes want to make JJ the highest paid, is what I've been hearing. And I also heard that he was in New
Yep.
York. Oh, yeah, I think I mentioned
Non-quarterback.
that last week. Ooh,
Yeah, he was in New York, but that would not be good for the Jets if he was and he was touring their facility. They would have to give up a bunch of draft picks for that because of
for
like
sure.
I don't remember the word, but it's something. But like if they did like have him tour the facility and all that kind of stuff, they would lose draft
Tampering.
picks for that. So I think yeah. So I don't think I think he was in New York probably for some other stuff.
Yeah,
But if he was there for the Jets are screwed. They're probably going to lose their first round picks.
yeah. Atlanta lost theirs
So
with Kirk, so Atlanta lost a
Mhm.
pick with Kirk. I don't know what it was, but
Yeah.
they did lose a pick.
I think it was one of their later picks, maybe, or
Yeah,
I think so because it
the
wasn't
Vikes
their actual pick.
did the Vikes move up a pick? Or no, they traded up for McCarthy, and then they got Turner and traded up again. So never mind.
Yeah. I forget where we got our second first round pick from that draft.
I think it was the Jets.
Was that the Kirk trade?
No, no, we moved up for Kirk, I think. No, Kirk didn't get traded. He signed
No.
with Atlanta. It was
Oh,
when
yeah, he
Kirk
signed,
signed
yeah.
with them. I think the Vikes got moved up a spot. But what else was
Yeah.
there? So we traded with the Jets for the second one. I think it was the Jags or flip them. I'm pretty sure it was the Jags and Jets. Let me fact check that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember how we got that pick.
Jets and Jacksonville, that order.
Who's pitching for the Pirates? Perez. I want to see when Paul Skeens pitches again.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he pitches Wednesday.
Apparently,
Yeah,
a
Paul
sex
Skeens
tape. With,
pitches Wednesday.
apparently, a sex tape with Gia Duddy and Will Levis got leaked.
That's crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy people do that. It's honestly stupid.
yeah, I hear you on that.
There's no point. There's no point in that.
Yeah.
And it's crazy
Wendy's
how
wants
people
some
even
burgers.
get it.
It's the internet, man. Happened with AB and
Yeah.
and overtime Megan. You can't do anything on the internet.
No,
It's always gonna come back to bite you.
It's honestly stupid.
Mhm.
I mean, people should just be smart enough not to do it, even if you have it. If
Oh,
you
yeah.
got it somehow, some way, just don't even post about it. Just delete it. There's no point.
It's stupid. All right. Let's see. Any other sports you want to cover? All right. I guess I'll cover Lax. I'm the Lax guy here, but
I saw it
PL
isn't like Notre Dame.
it's
in
Notre
the
Dame versus
championship?
Maryland. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. My buddy, big Notre Dame guy. I hate Notre Dame. Well, at least I used
Yep.
to. I don't really care
I got
anymore.
a buddy that's a big Notre Dame guy too.
Yeah, I like Penn State and Duke, but lacrosse is an interesting sport because it's so underappreciated, and I hate that. And he's a baseball guy, so we're supposed to be rivals technically, but I love baseball too. It's a great sport. Lacrosse is a lot of fun as well. Like I think they're both great sports and they're a lot of fun. But lacrosse, so we got college Maryland versus Dame in the championship, and I'm gonna take Dame 13-11 because Dame is a great team, and I think they're gonna go back to back because they're just a really good team. They got Kavanaugh. They got honestly, that's all I know. Pat Kavanaugh, but Maryland has Ajax. I want to say, but I just think that Kavanaugh's gonna torch them, and I'm excited about that. And shout out to TA. I'm rolling with Dame. That's my boy, but yeah. And see PLL, nothing's really happening with that. Season starts soon, and it'll be a lot of fun. They tour, so it's kind of like a circus where they go to different places, or well, it's a tour kind of. So they'll be in Minneapolis in June. Definitely would check it out. It's a great venue. I absolutely love going to the PLL. And they'll be in Louisville for the All-Star game, New York, Philly, Boston. They're cheap tickets too. It's like $30. It's a lot of fun. I would absolutely check it out if you can. And I know I'm going both days, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. But I think that's about it for lacrosse. O'Neill went first overall, and I love O'Neill. I'm excited to see what he does on the Outlaws. But my Chaos, I hope they come back because they got such a good team. Reardon, Blaze Reardon, same guy. Josh Byrne, then we picked up Perkovic. I love all those guys, and Chaos are a great team, and I just think I hope they win, but I'm not sure. That's my team, Roll Chaos. But the Dogs, Sowers, tough team. Sowers is an absolute dangerous player. And I think that's about all I have for lacrosse. Is there anything else you want to add?
I actually want to go back to Division I baseball. There are some first-time NCAA tournament teams. Northern Kentucky, High Point, and then Niagara. First time in the NCAA tournament in program history for them. Pretty nice to see that. Oh, I want to go back to the Wolves. We gotta stop that alley-oop. They do it every damn time, and we can't even. We're not even covering it. There's got to be a way that we can figure that out and cover it.
Like,
because they're just gonna score every time doing that.
They got that down to a T. They got two guards who can oop, and then they have the bigs who can oop it to each other. And we have the defensive play of the year, but he should be defending them. He just stands there like, he's gonna dunk on my head. Like, you are the D player of the year, and you gotta make those big plays. Like, this is the Western Conference Finals. This ain't a regular game anymore. You got to put everything on the line because the Wolves don't do this. No Minnesota team does. It's been 20 years since they last in the Western Conference Finals, and they didn't even make it because they lost to my Lakers, unfortunately. Then they lost to Detroit. we'll just forget about that. But the Wolves got to defend that paint because the Mavs can't shoot from the three. They shot 20% in the first game, but the paint they're absolutely dominating in. And I said this in week 1. The Wolves had the paint down, but I can't believe I was wrong. The Wolves haven't been able to do anything about Lively and Gafford and even Washington. And they should, because they have they have Cat, who's a great offensive player, who's stepped up his defense on Jokic, but they can't defend fucking Lively and Gafford. I don't understand it, but they got to do something about that oop, because if they can handle the paint and force them to shoot outside, it's going to make it completely different, because they need to keep the ball out of Luka and Kyrie's hands too and get it out of the paint. If they do that, they're going to completely clamp them down on defense. And Ant has been playing solid defense, but he's got to work on his turnovers, because that has been a killer. Yeah. And Nah has been non-existent too. I don't know what's up with Nah, but he has just been off. And Naz Reid, he's freaking awesome. He is such a good shooter. And Naz Reid, hats off to him. He has been an absolute X factor. And we wouldn't even be in it without Nas for game 2, but we got to keep those leads and keep the turnovers down and defend the paint. That's what the Wolves need to do.
Yeah, that's just, it's frustrating. It should not be happening. We should have won those first 2 games. We shouldn't have even. We just can't have that happen.
I don't like blaming the refs, but
we were locking down.
Yeah, we were up 18 points, gone, and we're still blaming the refs. Of course, it was a bad call, but we can't do anything about that. Like, I can't believe I'm defending the refs. But we got to hold on to the leads and defend the paint.
Yeah, it's honestly just. I wish that foul was reviewable, because that would have helped us out.
That is a dumb rule. I will say that.
Yeah. I hope they change it, because there should be a review on that. The refs knew there was a foul, but there's nothing that they could do about it.
That's just unfortunate, though. That is true.
Yeah, because I saw a post where it said, like, the refs were like, yeah, Kyrie fouled Jaden McDaniels.
Yes.
But the rule says that you can't review that foul or challenge that foul. So, I mean, nothing we could do. But Ant throwing that ball away really screwed us. That was
terrible.
He just getting a little too cocky. Just he does that sometimes, and it screws us, and it screws the team. But if he can figure that out, be a leader in it, slow the game down a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he rushed and he had nowhere to go. The guy was covering him. If he stayed back, just like took time, there might have been someone that he could come screen him, and then he could get a shot off. But he rushed it, which cost the turnover. He does that sometimes, and it's not the right decision, because he wants to do stuff to be the hero for the game.
Yeah.
So he's got to figure something out. Cat's got to figure something out offensively and defensively.
Cat does play good on away games. I will say that. He has been money in away games, so I'm excited to see how he plays in Dallas. But another thing with Ant,
Conley needs to show up.
Conley is a great player. I agree. Conley needs to show up. Naz Reid needs to just keep doing what he's doing. And let's see. There's something else, but I can't think of it. But McDaniels, money. McDaniels is great. He gets his offense.
He did struggle in the second game, though.
Yeah, he didn't do too good second.
He struggled in the second game.
He is a great player.
He needs to bring back the game 1 stuff. And then Kyle Anderson has been pretty surprising slow-mo.
I couldn't believe
surprising this round.
Yeah.
First game was pretty good, but the second game, he didn't play much in the second game.
No.
So he couldn't really tell if he was doing his stuff like he did the first game.
Yeah.
Alexander Walker needs to figure it out also.
Yeah.
Those are like the only guys that really come in.
I forgot to mention about Ant is he's guarding Kyrie now, and Kyrie is not Jamal Murray. Kyrie is a very explosive player still, and he puts Ant to work. And I just think Ant is
He can
also
he can
gassed.
handle the ball.
Yes, Kyrie's the greatest,
He's getting
arguably the
gassed.
greatest ball handler of all
But
time.
yes, but when we were up ahead, he got a pretty good break to rest.
Yes, he
I
did.
know what was it? The second quarter, second half? I can't remember.
He didn't play a quarter.
He had a break. Yeah, he had like a long ass break, and like because we were winning,
Yeah.
and we were still locking down. But then after that, we were blowing the lead, and he can't get a break. So he's getting gassed a little bit. A bunch of the other guys are probably getting gassed too. And
Yeah.
I mean, we kept our fouls down again. We gotta keep doing that, especially with Kat and Rudy. They gotta keep those down. But Rudy really needs to focus on his defense
100%.
because he's not doing much. And then offensive rebounds, we're just standing back. We're not even close to getting rebounds.
Yes.
And it's honestly stupid. Like, there's a chance Rudy can get that rebound, but him and Kat just choose to just stand there and not try and get it. I mean, yes, I know you guys are scared of getting a foul and a foul off the rebound, but get in front of them. They'll get the foul. So I'm really hoping to see that there's some changes for tonight's game. Again, that's at 7 on TNT for all of you who don't know. Celtics came back yesterday.
That I
They're
thought the
up
Pacers
3-0.
had that. I
didn't watch the game. I didn't know the score till like this morning because I had a 7:45 start, so I woke up this morning, checked Instagram, saw Celtics came back.
Yeah. I was at Beat Ups yesterday. And what was I saying? I was at Beat Ups yesterday, and Pacers were up like 20, I saw, and they were dominating without Halbert. And I thought, well, the Celtics usually get a throwaway game, but I couldn't believe it. The Celtics are a tough team, and it's just the East is a joke. It's just how it is. But Celtics are still a good team. But I'm really excited to see how they play against whoever wins the West, regardless of it's Wolves or Mavs. But I just want to see if the Celtics really are legit because they lost to Golden State in, I want to say 2 years ago, and that was interesting because I had Golden State winning it all that year. But the Celtics are a great team year in, year out. But they really need. I don't know if they're a completely championship team. They have great depth. They got Tatum and Brown, the two players. The two stars is what seems to be leading the NBA right now. Murray, Jokic, Kyrie, Luka, Max Embiid. That seems to be the strat right now. Big threes are a little bit too much because you have too much star power and not enough depth. But I just think that they have a chance this year for sure, depending on the West, because the Wolves are fatigued. The Mavs are looking really good, unfortunately. But they can't shoot from three, and the Celtics are a great team that can shoot. So I'm really intrigued to see how the finals goes this year. Because the Pacers are a good team, but they had a free ride because no Giannis, no Lillard. Brunson was hurt the last game. Then they had, Nobi wasn't healthy, and Hart plays like 1,000 minutes a game because Tibbs does that. But I think the Pacers had a very easy path to the Eastern Conference Finals. And the Celtics, don't get me wrong, they have a very easy path to the finals too. Just the East has no talent. All the talent is in the West. And it's very interesting to see if the East can really win because they haven't won in a while. Last year it was Nuggets, Warriors, 21 was, Bucks, and then Lakers, Raps, and then Kawhi left after that year. But yeah, Kawhi went back West. So all the talent is in the West. And that's just how it is. The East is wide open. If players went East, they'd probably excel.
Looks like Scheffler moved up to second.
Nice.
And then also, Pacers were without one of their players. I don't know if he was a star player.
It was Halliburton
or not. Yeah, they're also a young team, but it's also surprising that they're here, being this young. So curious to see if the Pacers can come back at home and not get swept. I don't think they're going to win the series, but I think they can win one game. Hope, and then maybe they'll lose the next game because the Celtics will be at home.
Yeah.
but we never know.
Yeah.
So just curious to see. That game is tomorrow. Don't know what time, but I know it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Also last night, NHL Dallas beat Edmonton,
Yeah.
3-1.
Uh,
Sagan, who was it? Sagan, who was the other guy?
was it Marshman or what?
Yeah,
It was. I think it was or John. It was
Marchment
either
and
Marshman or Johnston.
Lindell. It was
Yeah, that sounds right.
Marchment and Lindell, and then Connor Brown scored for Oilers. But
Mm.
I like that matchup.
Oh
Honestly, I
yeah,
hate
for sure.
Edmonton, so I hope Dallas wins.
I'm a Stars
But
guy. Hate that I'm rooting for a Dallas team right now, but that's my team. And I don't know. The East is a very interesting matchup too, because Florida and
mhm,
Rangers are both very solid teams.
yes, yeah.
And like both these matchups aren't bad. You got McDavid, then you got the Stars who are a young team, and they still have some old depth. Like it's kind of a mix like the Lakers. But the
Mhm,
East is just Florida's fast. They're a fun team to watch. And you got Shesterkin, Panarin on Kreider on the Rangers. They're both really fun matchups. And either way, I don't think you could really go wrong with any of the matchups that you
mhm,
have for these final four teams. Like any Stanley Cup would be fun. And I'm curious what it's going to
yeah.
be. I think it's going to be Stars Rangers with Dallas
Mhm,
taking it in six. That's my
mhm,
prediction. But either way, it's going to be a fun finals because Stanley Cup is the best playoff hockey, or well, playoff hockey is the best. Of course,
yes.
Stanley Cup's the best playoff hockey. But I'm really excited to see where the finals goes this year because what was it last year?
Vegas won
It's
against Florida.
Vegas. Yeah, not much happened last year, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun watching these guys play it out and seeing who really is
Mhm,
the best team because I think it's a
yeah.
lot of fun and it's a great matchup for either team,
Yep. Any of
any
these teams
situation.
could win the Stanley Cup.
Yes.
Honestly, it's just a matter of who wants it more. I feel
Yes.
like Florida is going to win the series.
Yeah.
Sergei Bobrovsky is like one of the best playoff goaltenders, and he's just unbelievable. Just
He
the
was
way
there
he
last year.
plays. You saw it when he swept Tampa when he was with Columbus, and then bringing their team to beat Boston last year, and
That
then
was
all that
huge.
going to the Cup as like a wild card or something. I can't remember where they were,
They
but I
were
think
low.
Shesterkin's still young and he's still figuring it out. So I don't
Yeah.
think, and the Florida has a really good offense too, and they have
Yes.
really good decor.
Yes.
Um, unlike the Rangers who have like one good defenseman, which is
Yeah.
Truba.
What about Adam Fox?
He's all right, but he just takes too many dumb penalties.
Yeah, that bro.
He's not. He takes way too many dumb penalties.
Yeah. Florida definitely could come
And
back though.
then
I just think it's the Rangers. They're a tough team, but Florida's really good too. Like I
yeah,
that one's gonna go down to the wire, but I think Dallas is gonna beat Edmonton. But
yeah,
I think East is the more fun matchup. But like I said, they're both great matchups. But
yeah. The other
Florida is
day,
just so
yeah,
good.
the other day the Rangers did win in overtime, but it was a
Yep.
close game. Both goaltenders were on top of their heads, played great. Just a really good shot by Barclay Goodrow. So, but I think Bobrovsky is gonna help the team get the win in the
That
series.
that's a good point. Yeah.
He's just too good of a goaltender.
He is really good.
hmm Next season is going to be fun to watch too. A lot of the lower teams are going to be taking big leaps and trying to uh, not be at the bottom anymore. So curious to see free agency as well. A lot of big free agents coming up. Curious to see if some resign or they leave and then they go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. LSU game starting soon. They're wearing their Sunday golds or their Sunday yellows, whatever
Nice.
one you like. Rangers, Florida are going to be starting soon too. I know Tennessee is a really good team, but I don't know if they're going to have their best pitcher pitching. It looks like Nebraska won the Big Ten championship, so Nebraska won the 2 seed. Nebraska, of course. Nebraska's mostly good in the Big Ten. Gophers, not so much.
Yeah.
Their coach just recently retired. I don't know if I mentioned that in the last episode. He's been coaching there for a while. Coached there when my uncle was there. So he's been there for a long time. So and then their new coach is their assistant coach. I have no idea who the guy is. I don't know if he's good or anything. So curious to see how the Gophers do next season in baseball. Other than that, I got nothing else for now.
All right. Let's make a quick run at movies because that's something I want to include on this too, and we'll include some story time. We got plenty of time, but we got let's see, Planet of the Apes. Don't really care. We got
such
Venom
a great
3.
movie. Venom 3. I want to see that.
Venom 2 wasn't that good, but I love Venom.
It was all right.
Venom is my favorite superhero, so I'm probably gonna see that. Joker 2,
kind of a villain.
Definitely seeing. Did I say hero?
Yeah,
I meant.
I mean, it's kind of a mix because in the Venom movies, he's basically kind of a hero, but in like
in Spider-Man 3,
comics, he's the villain.
Yeah, he's more of an anti-hero. It's a very Venom is my favorite villain. My favorite hero is Batman by a mile. Joker 2, definitely seeing that. Furiosa, Mad Max.
Yeah,
those movies, they look great visually, but it's just action. If you just like straight action and apocalyptic wastelands in Australia, go see it. I will say it is a beautiful picture to look at. Very good. Like Mad Max Fury Road with Tom Hardy. That was really fun to watch. Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, Fall Guy. It's at 81. Might have to check that out, but I need a girl for that. I'm not going to that by myself. Let's see. Bad Boys Ride or Die. I don't really care about those.
That's gonna be funny.
Oh yeah, Knives Out 3. That's gonna be interesting. Civil War, Deadpool, Wolverine, Gladiator 2. That I'm pretty excited for. It's about all I have for the movies. Joker 2, Gladiator 2, and Bad Boys looks fun. Fall Guy, and Knives Out 3. Like not too bad, not the greatest, but definitely could be worse. Oh yeah, Inside Out 2.
Yeah, I was
not excited for that. Ooh. Keep going.
I've never watched them. Never watched them, and I don't plan on that either.
Yeah, don't say it. I don't. So bad.
Yeah, I was watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles last night. The movies,
yes,
and then I forgot Megan Fox was in it.
Yeah,
and God, she's a good-looking woman. I'll say that.
Yeah,
I totally forgot. So, and one of my favorite DC, one of my favorite DC, the Arrow, Stephen Amell, I think that's how you say his name. He plays the Arrow. He's in the second movie. I had no idea that was him. So that was pretty cool to see. And then music. I want to get into some music.
Okay. All right, Zach Bryan.
Luke Combs. Luke Combs' new song for the Twister movie. Was it like? It's like Ain't No Love in Oklahoma. Yeah, Ain't No Love in Oklahoma. I've been having it on repeat coming back from work and all that for the longest time since it came out. It's such a good song.
I bet.
That and then Bailey Zimmerman too. I'm like country. I got into country because of hockey. The hockey guys always listen to country, so they kind of got me into it. Hell or High Water for the Twister album. There's a lot of country artists in the new Twister album.
Yeah, I'm excited for that movie too.
Yeah, I haven't seen the first one, so I might see the first one tonight.
Yeah, definitely got to see the first one first.
Yeah. Kane Brown, Marshmello made another song. Love it. Mal's on it.
Love Kane Brown.
big Chainsmokers guy here. They
All
came
right,
out with
yeah,
a new album, No Hard Feelings. It's pretty good. Some of the songs feel like old Chainsmokers songs, so it's actually
yeah, I
pretty
like
cool.
that.
It's a really good album. Not everyone is like in that kind of stuff, so the Chainsmokers might not be your thing. I heard,
Nah,
yeah, does Zach Bryan
Pink
stuff.
Skies.
I heard
It
like
was
his
pretty
new
good.
song.
I was a big fan of it. And I'm
Yeah,
not a huge
but I
Zach
really
Bryan guy either.
recommend. I mean, there's a couple songs I like. It's just
Some of them are just like some of them aren't bad. Like you got to be in a certain mood. Like he's got a very somber
mhm,
voice. Like he reminds me of Bob Dylan. But what reason?
yeah. And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I really recommend that Luke Combs song.
Oh
Ain't
yeah,
no
I'll
love in
check it out.
Oklahoma. I recommend it for anyone listening if they
Country's good, man.
haven't
Versatile.
heard it yet or not in the country. Luke Combs will get you in the country. I
Yeah.
promise you that.
Either
His
him or Morgan
voice, just the
Wallen.
way he sings. If you heard Fast Car, I know it's
Oh,
not as country, but
that is a good song.
still, like
Very good song.
he will really get you in the country.
Yeah, man. I had that song on repeat for like 3 months. Very good song.
Hmm.
Love it. Very solid. And he's a cool dude too. And my teacher, my math teacher, I don't think you're supposed to say names, but he would get so pissed off when you'd call him when you'd say he looks like Luke Combs, but he looked just like him. And it was like uncanny. He's like, I don't look like Luke Combs. But he looked just like
I
him.
would take that as a compliment.
I would too. Luke Combs is a G. I love him. And yeah, he just would get all anal about it, but he does look like Luke Combs. And shout out to him. Not gonna say this because I don't want to get a lawsuit or anything against me. But he was a great teacher. Loved him, and he had a lot of fun stories to say. And yeah, that's a mini story for me. But Luke Combs will get you out of the country. He is very good. And if not Morgan Wallen, he doesn't have a bad song. I don't think he does. And
No,
me
the new one
personally,
with Post Malone is pretty good.
I had some help. Yeah, that was.
I've
I
heard.
forgot to talk about that. That was pretty good. And I'm a weekend
Mhm.
guy. I like the weekend a lot, but I also like country too. I've been told my playlist is bipolar, but
Mhm.
I'm always open to music suggestions. And Luke Combs is great, like I said, like 37 times. But I love the weekend, and you got to be in a certain mood
Mhm.
for it. It's very subjective, and if you don't like it, I get it. Because my dad likes Grateful Dead, and Grateful Dead sucks. It's terrible. Don't listen to it. Just don't. But yeah, music is fun. Listen to Luke Combs. That's all I have to say
Mhm.
about that. Back to you.
Yep. Also, Kid Leroy had a song leaked. We know who he's
Ooh.
dating. We love her. We love her. I love her music personally. I mean, it's not like a music for me, but like it's just the beat and all that kind of it just hits. Tay
Yeah.
McRae,
We love
I
Tate
it's
McRae.
kind the way he sings it kind of is like a little like a little bit of targeting what was it, Cole Sillinger, because you used to
The
say Cole
hockey player?
Sillinger, he's
Yeah.
ass. He plays for
Yeah, I bet.
Columbus. Yeah, he plays for
Boo.
Columbus. He's ass. Doesn't do shit for that team. From what I've heard, he's cheated on her, and that's why they
Oh,
broke up. No, now she's with the kid, and the song just hits. It's so good. I
I'm gonna
can't
have
wait
to
for it
check
to
it
be
out.
released.
Yeah. I
I
do like
wish
Kid
we could go
Leroy.
to a Tate McRae concert this year.
They're
We
expensive,
were
dude.
planning on going to the Tate McRae, but it's
Yeah.
expensive as hell.
Yeah.
And it's on my dad's birthday, so it would have been tight.
Yeah.
But yeah, but either way, it's too expensive, and I don't feel like wasting that much money to go. I mean, it would be worth it, but it's just too much money.
Yeah. One of our
I
goals for this
I would
pod,
rather
actually.
save.
One of our goals is to have her on this podcast. And if that happens, that'd be sweet. I don't know if it'll ever happen.
We have a
to get,
lot
like,
of people
post
that
feeds.
we want on our podcast.
It would be freaking
Yeah.
awesome. And guests, we plan on bringing in guests sometimes. So that'll happen. If you want if
Mhm.
you're in a podcast, shoot us
Yep.
a DM, shoot us anything. We love to have guests. I think it's a lot of fun. But also,
Mhm.
Kid Leroy, I've liked him since, I don't know, he's been popping for a few years. He's a young dude, and Tate's young too. They're both like 20, but he's very
Yeah.
talented. And
Yeah,
if he
Tate's
stays
20.
clean, they stay clean, do good things, they have my support. Of course, my opinion doesn't matter on this. I'm just a 19-year-old sitting in his basement recording a podcast, but I wish them the best of luck, and I think they're both very talented musicians, and that's all I have to say from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we D1, D2, D3, high school, anything.
Yep.
But you got to be varsity if you're high school. If you want to be on the podcast,
You don't
we'll
want
be
to hear about
happy to
JV
have
Warriors?
anyone be a guest. No, just or like just any like top prospect.
Oh
that
yeah,
are, like,
anyone
that would want to be
who
on
has
the.
anyone who could just talk about sports in a fair way and not just be like Stephen A about it, where you're just spitting nonsense. Got to know what you're saying. Got to be,
Yeah.
and of course, got to be respectful. Just like us. If you think you're like us and you could talk with us about
Yep.
sports, that's all we're looking for.
Yeah.
And if you're,
And then we'll ask you questions too.
Yeah.
Especially if you're committed somewhere or you're already somewhere, like what it's like and daily life for a college athlete and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be fun. Hopefully, we can get some people on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll also just we'll post something about it. Post if you want to be a guest, just
Yeah.
and then you can DM us.
Yeah.
Either that or on our Instagram. We'll be posting our Instagram again, posting about this episode, trying to get more followers and just more listeners. I mean,
Yeah.
last episode started slow, but we got some listeners,
Could have been worse.
and really, yeah. And I feel like it was a big accomplishment for us getting as many plays as we did.
Yeah.
Loved all the different ranges of ages.
Yeah.
And just thank you for all you who have listened to the first episode. Hopefully you keep listening because this I don't know what to say.
It's a lot of fun.
It's just yeah, it's very fun and like never done this before, and we're hoping to get better from here. Hopefully this episode was better than the first one. We're hoping to get better every episode. Once we find our groove, we'll probably say the same for the rest of the episodes, just not change up many things.
Yeah.
If you liked the movie segment and the song segment, let us know if you want us to keep it. I think we're going to keep it for now. If not, let us know if you want us to remove that. I feel like we're going to keep the stories too, not get you all bored with sports. I feel like people get bored when people talk about sports. I know I don't really watch like the Good Morning America stuff or whatever, the sports, like Sports Center, all that kind of stuff, because it ends up getting boring.
Yeah,
like I get it,
I'm the same
and
way.
I only focus on certain teams, and if they're not on, I just don't listen.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try and keep that all those other segments for you guys, so you guys don't get bored and leave, because we want to keep it fun for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any stories?
Let's see. I guess I'll get into this before people start calling me a bandwagon. I will explain why I'm a Laker fan. I guess it's not too fun. It's an alright story, I guess. All right. So as I've said, I'm a Laker fan, and I've been a Laker fan since I was 10. My first basketball game I ever went to was Kobe Bryant's last game in Minnesota, and it was when KG came back because we traded. It was a little bit after the Kevin Love trade when we got Wiggins for the first overall pick, but KG came back to Minnesota, and it was their last matchup together. And of course, they were both old as shit, so they played like 2 minutes. But I still got to see Kobe get like a solid 7 points or something. And I had a video of him hitting a 3 on my old Instagram account, but it got deleted. That's actually a story I gotta get into next. Well, that one's actually kind of funny. I said the Lakers would be my second favorite team, and then I kind of had a phase where I was a Warrior fan because my mom's like, Stephen Curry is a great guy. I'm like, Stephen Curry? And I thought his name was Stephen for a long time, and then people were like, his name is Stephen. I'm like, oh crap. And I cheered for the Warriors for a bit, but Lakers, I used to hate LeBron with a burning passion, and LeBron is my favorite basketball player. But Then he joined the Lakers. I hated the Lakers for a bit. And Lonzo Ball joined first, and that's why I hated the Lakers, because I hated Lonzo. And he's a great player. Like, I realize that now. He's a very smart basketball player, but he can't stay healthy. He's been hurt for 2 years-ish, and he's still not fully 100%. And that sucks. Like, Lonzo is a very high IQ basketball player, and he's had to go through a lot, especially having LeVar as his dad. And he's like,
actually, I heard he got a donor for.
Oh yeah, for his.
I heard he got a donor for one of his parts.
He did, yes. And he had nothing in
so I think he might get better.
Yeah. But as I said,
I think that donor might help him.
Oh, for sure. And I got back to, and then I realized I came to my senses in around freshman year. I'm like, you know what? I'm a Laker fan. And then I needed a basketball jersey for school because everyone wears basketball jerseys. So I'm like, you know what? I'm either going to get LeBron or KD, who I also love KD. I got LeBron, and then I renewed my faith in the Lakers. And they won the finals in 2020, even if people think the bubble is an illegitimate Mickey Mouse ring because it was at the ESPN Wide World of Sports at Disney. I think it was the hardest NBA finals to win because of their complete isolation, no fans, no true home and away team. And just it was never been done before, and it never will be done. That's my opinion. But I've been a diehard Laker fan since then. I still love my Wolves, and the Lakers are my team, and I love them to death. But on to my next story is... Hold on. I'll remember it. What was I saying? Crap, I forgot. It was... crap, I forgot. If it comes to me, I will say it, but I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's why my Instagram account got deleted. So this one's kind of embarrassing for me, but I don't really care. My life's an open book. But this one was at my friend's girlfriend's house, my buddy TA. He's my boy, one of my best friends in the whole world. He'd be a good dude to have on the podcast for like lags and stuff, but he's a fun guy. He knows chill as well. But he also plays D2 lacrosse at Catawba, North Carolina. And he's probably going to be the starter next year, but I digress. Awesome dude, great guy. But I'm at his house because he set me up with a girl, and we were doing truth or dare. Yeah, because yes, 18-year-olds doing truth or dare is so fun. And then mine was looking for a hookup in your Instagram account. So I did that. And then 30 minutes later, I checked my Instagram, my phone, and I'm like, your account has been temporarily suspended. I'm like, what? And then I kept trying to get like a code to renew my account, but I never did. And this also could have been because I clicked the link to buy like chains to be an ambassador for a website. I think it wasn't, but it could have been that, and some guy hacked my Instagram account, but I doubt that. I think it was because they thought I was a bot, and I have a new account now, and I just thought it was funny. And someone's at getting a beer or something. That's fun. But that's how my Instagram account got deleted, and how my Kobe Bryant 3-pointer, the only thing I cared about on that Instagram page, is erased. And I hate that. It's just this crappy video from 2015 of me with my freaking iPhone 5, just shaky hands and all. Just Kobe hitting a 3-pointer. And it was sick, too. It was like just his normal 3. But it's gone because don't put looking for a hookup in your Instagram bio. Just don't. Go to Tinder for that. Don't do it on Instagram. But don't do it in general, man. I'm not here to coach you. I'm not your dad, but don't do the things. Do as I say, not what I do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's Ethan's stories of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Any stories for you?
Is about to start.
Oh,
nothing special, but just me. Basically, people are like calling me bandwagon stuff for liking the Hawks. But the truth is, my first hockey game I ever watched was the Blackhawks. And when I was getting closer to being a goalie, because honestly, my cousin, who was a goalie at Park for when I was like younger, he was the varsity goalie.
Oh, that's
he really inspired me to be goalie. But also, Chicago Blackhawks, Corey Crawford really got me to be into goalie. Like, I wasn't like a big Patrick Kane, Jonathan Taves guy. Like, I was like, Corey Crawford is my favorite player on the Blackhawks.
Not many people were like that either. A lot of respect for that.
And like people always know like Patrick Kane, and Jonathan Taves, but me, they stood out to me. Yes, I like them, but Corey Crawford was the one who really stood out to me and ultimately got me into loving the Blackhawks. And then also with the Cubs, I am a Cubs fan, but I'm also a Twins fan. I still kind of am a Cubs fan, not anymore, because I only like the Cubs because of Baez when he was in his prime, but he left and now he's ass.
Yeah, he hasn't been doing
I still like them though. I still like them
Yeah.
though. They're a pretty good team still.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I don't like any other Chicago teams besides those two.
Yeah. I also am a Dodger fan too. And
yeah, so
I'll
like
be honest,
just those,
they're a good ass team.
That's the big story. That's just the big story. Just people who call me bandwagon for liking the Blackhawks. I just never liked the Wild. They just weren't. They never stood out to me. They weren't a team that was good. I mean, yes, the Blackhawks were good at the time, so like I get people are like, "Oh, you're a bandwagon." Like they won 3 Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
In the time, but also just like I'm still with them right now.
Yeah.
They're ass. They have the second overall pick. They were second to last in the whole league, and I'm still liking them. I haven't changed my team. I mean, I do like other teams, but I only like them because I'm a Gopher fan and a Bulldog fan. So if they have any Bulldogs or Gopher players, I'll cheer for those guys. I just won't cheer for the team. Like the Maple Leafs, hate them, don't like them. Only like Matthew Nyes because he's an amazing player.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's basically my story.
Yeah. It's good to get things out of the way while we're still early on.
Yeah. I think we're good for this episode.
All right.
Don't want to bore you guys even more and make this longer. I think
we're at an hour
spot to end.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
I think that's pretty good.
And that's where we're aiming for in about an hour.
Yep.
If you guys want, I recommend watching the LSU Tennessee game. SEC baseball is really fun. I went to Baton Rouge this year with my dad, and SEC baseball is just a whole nother level. So I recommend watching this championship game.
He knows what he's talking about.
Well, if you're here live.
Yeah.
If you're here live. If you're not here, rewatch it. If you're not here,
rewatch it. And he knows what he's saying.
If you're listening on Spotify, rewatch it. Baton Rouge is really fun. But all the SEC schools are really fun.
You want to be on episode 2? Sure. All right. We got a guest appearance from my mom. Say hi to the podcast.
Hey, people.
That's Carter.
Carter, you're amazing.
He doesn't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Thank you.
Can you hear me if I go like this?
Thank you.
Yeah. We were at your workplace the other day. I'm going to give a major shout out to Gerton's Greenhouse because it's like the Disney World of 50-year-old ladies in their gardens and stuff. Yep. It's kind of awesome. And I spent a ridiculous amount of money and had a great time. Ethan came with me.
Oh yeah.
But we'll be back. It's nice to meet you.
People
bye podcast.
Nice to meet you too.
That's fun. All right.
I will say yes. At Gerton's, people do spend hundreds of dollars on plants.
Oh yeah, they spend so much money there.
And they're surprised when it's cheap.
Yeah.
That's when they're surprised. They're not surprised when it's expensive. They're surprised when it's cheap.
Yeah.
So yeah, but good way to end. You want to send it off?
Yeah. All right. You know the drill, guys. Leave a like, subscribe, share with a friend, share with your grandma. I don't care who it is. Share with your mom. She might like it as much as my mom does. But we thank you guys for tuning in.
My parents loved it.
If you're tuning in now, later, whatever it is, if you know me, you know one of us personally, just tell us that you watched it and that you appreciate it. That's all we need to hear. We love hearing your guys' feedback, and we love hearing what you guys have to say, because we want this to build.
I want to hear more feedback.
Of course, more feedback.
I want to hear more feedback.
Be
I've only heard from my
honest.
parents.
Be brutally honest. I don't care how honest you are. Just lay it on us. Hopefully we're not doing too bad. But if there's anything we need to work on, that's all good. I get that.
Yeah,
but we're
if the
in our
podcast
second
is shit,
episode.
let us know.
We're in our second episode. That's all good. But
yeah,
you don't need to be a dick about it though. But let us know. And thank you guys. I'm gonna wrap it up here. And this is episode 2 with Carter and Ethan. And I will see you guys next time. But go with Christ.